Welcome back, guys, to another episode of the Black RVers podcast. I'm Miles here with Fox, and thank you guys so much again for joining us for another interview. We have another wonderful, amazing couple here to share about their lives and what's going on with them. So
if you could, first, please introduce yourselves. Let us know what you do, who you are, where you are, all the good stuff.
Okay, I am Alicia Lawson with Time Away RV Resort.
And I'm Nate Lawson, the husband.
Just the husband.
That's perfect.
Yeah.
I
You can see
understand.
he's a funny guy.
It's
Anyway, just trying to start an RV journey. RV park on the journey, and hopefully our last big venture to ride us out. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
We think we're getting old. I'm 50, he's 52, 53. And so we're like, this is it. This is the end of the road, you know?
Like, you guys are just getting like the good
right. The good part.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's funny because we're meeting people around here that's like 80 and 90, and they're like grinding.
Yeah.
And we're like, man,
They're still moving
kinda,
hard.
Yeah, we look kind of young, you know?
It's all about the perspective for sure.
Definitely.
Yes.
So like, how did you all get to where you are? So you said like you're an owner now. So like, did you all always RV, or were you always kind of like out there? Or is it something new that you started?
Well, it's kind of new in a sense. Now, like I said, when I was a kid, we RV. My parents had RVs and everything. So of course we got grown. Everybody did what they did, but it has been ingrained in me. So I brought it up a few times over the course of our relationship and our marriage about, hey, what about RV? You know, and finally, my wife went to a RV show, and 2 weeks later, we had an RV.
Well, and mind you, let's start back when he was growing up. They had an RV, they had bikes, they had food and stuff.
Here we go.
Okay, because they grew up in middle class home. So you know, I grew up in the projects in Toledo, Ohio, McLean Homes, Port Lawrence Homes, and we didn't have that kind of stuff. You know, we played with sticks and dirt and stuff, and it was fun. Okay, let me explain. So I didn't know about a lot of that stuff until I met him, and he was doing different stuff. So yes, it was exciting that when he brought that RV around, I was like, oh man, this is not, I could live here forever. Like, this is bigger than anything I've ever seen. Yes. So that's the truth. You did have food and stuff.
We supposed to eat. So anyway, we start with, and then of course she always wanted to get into owning real estate and rental properties and things of that nature. I fought it for a while, and then finally I got on board, and then we went forward with that. And we've been doing that now for the last 12 to 15 years. And every time, you know, somebody move out, you got to go refurbish the house to make it look good for the next person. And that got old. And so we thought, well, how can we diverse our rental situation? So we already started visiting RV parks. And we thought about it, wait a minute, they're just renting out of space for a little while. And they take the whole house with them when they leave. Perfect. Let's do that.
Yeah. And that was the birth. Yeah. The thought, you know. Yeah.
So here we are.
But I really like what you all were talking about real estate, because I feel like a lot of people are getting into that, but they really don't understand how much work it actually is. Like, It's not just like, people make it very glamorous. Like, it's like, oh, you know, just join real estate. And it's like, no.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
Yeah. Well, we've been married. It's been 30 years. It'll be 30 years in June. Yeah. Thank you. And so we went to our first auction though to get into real estate. When he say it's been, you know, I tried to convince him. It was 25 years of convincing. Okay. Hey, Nate, we need to be into real estate. Well, not 25 years. It took about 10 years for him to say, let's do it. And it was the housing crash that made it happen. So 2008 housing crash. He was like, you know, on board once I went and bought 6 homes without letting me know. And I did.
Yeah, it was only supposed to be 2.
It was. I bought 6. I called the realtor, and when I heard that the boom was happening in our hometown, Toledo, we were in Fort Wayne, Indiana. I was a pharmaceutical rep at the time, and they had moved us to Fort Wayne, Indiana. And I'm like, you know what? There's a housing market where you can get a house for like $9,000. And I was like, I called the realtor and I was like, yeah, give me that one. And it just kept going on.
Right.
And I actually put a bid in for 10 and only got 6. So I never told him that part. He's finding it out today.
Oh, God.
So I only got 6. So he didn't talk to me for a week. Okay. And knowing that we bought 6 houses.
Mm-hmm.
But after he saw the cash flow of it and the means behind it,
yeah,
I got 6 because it replaced his income. So 6 would rent it out, replace his income. He can stop working, doing what he was doing with the truck driver.
okay,
Yeah. And it was a lot of work. We put in 6 months, we got all the houses up and running. And in 6 months, yeah, we were going back and forth from Fort Wayne every weekend. Friday come, we get on the road, get to Toledo, live in the houses. We lived in the houses while we fixed them up. And it was a pain, okay? Because we didn't know what the houses looked like when we bought them.
Right.
Like, we didn't know if it was sight unseen.
wow.
So I know, right? This story just keeps getting worse and worse.
Yeah.
So we bought the houses. We went down there every weekend, fixed them up. And that took 6 months. But in 6 months, we had them rented out fast. And we never looked back. Yeah, we kept doing it.
Yeah,
That's so intense.
yeah.
So like, what was your thought though? Like, was it like I know that you were seeing the opportunity. That did you go into it because you were like, we want financial freedom, or like what was the goal for you? Like your mindset when you bought these properties?
My goal set was seeing him. Okay, he's got a story about why I thought he was a handyman. Okay. So you want to tell him the handyman story?
Well, okay, let's start here. We decided to do it. It was for a little bit more financial freedom, but it was more or less time freedom as well.
Right.
You know, so granted, me being a truck driver, I have friends and people that I know that own trucks and companies. So every once in a while they'll call me if they need some help. But over the last 12 years, I haven't had a job. Yeah, so it gave us financial freedom and also gave me too much time on my hands.
Sure.
So every once in a while, I'll go pick up and help out a friend that owns a truck and I need an extra driver or something for something short, local, nothing crazy, you know. Anyway, story.
Yeah.
Years ago, when we first got married, I think it was within our first 2 or 3 years of marriage, and we had a vacuum cleaner.
My first vacuum cleaner. Yay.
So somebody broke the end of the plug that you plug into the wall by just yanking it out of the wall. So no big deal. I ran to the hardware store, brought a new end, put it on, vacuum work. Okay, sounds great. Yeah. Well, she thought because I could do that, there was nothing in the world I couldn't do.
Right.
That was it for me. I was like, oh, you could build a building. You could do stuff. I was like, oh my God, I've never seen this before.
This is a true story. This is crazy.
Yes. After I saw him do that, I was like, the next week, I think we were at our first auction for a house.
Wow.
But we went to that. Yes. The next week, we were just
back then.
That was way back. We went to I scheduled the first auction. We went live. He came. I was there by myself and I was bidding on this house. And he came in, he's like, this bidding, trust me, this is for a whole house. And the bidding started out at like $60.
What?
Okay. A whole house. Okay.
The county.
Okay.
Yeah, you used to auction them off starting at $60.
Yes.
Wow.
And this is probably worth about $60,000, right? But you got some work to do, maybe about $10,000 worth of work.
Right.
And so we're in there and we're bidding. This is our first bid. And I'm really excited. You know, I'm going to take a chance.
Yeah.
So I'm bidding with this guy, and then the bidding was going to stop at $2,500 for this house. That's it, $2,500. But then something did happen that made him upset.
Yeah, the auctioneer hollered out to some other guy and said, hey, don't you want this house? After he did going once, going twice, hey, Charlie, you want this
come
house?
on.
Yes, I said, hey, this is rigged.
Yeah.
So he didn't like it, and then the bidding got up to, I still continued to bid because I thought, I got my number and that's what I'm here for. Mm-hmm. So we'll let them have that because still we still got to have a foot in and still $3,500 is not a lot. That's where the bidding stopped.
Yeah.
At $3,500. So I got out at $3,500 and And, you know, I don't know where I would have gone to probably 4,500, but I just decided to stop because he got upset. So we didn't go to our next bid until I put those bids in 20 years later.
Wow.
Yeah. So we had always talked about it. And I think if we had role models, though, that gave us more comfort and gave us more, like we didn't have anybody that was really doing it. Everybody that was in that room, we didn't know any of those people, you know, so it would have been nice to have that, you know. Now we talk to others that are trying to get into it and we give them a heads up on these things all the time. Yeah.
I think that's really important. Sorry, I think that's really important. Because one, I don't feel like a lot of people know that. Like, I don't know what it is today, like the starting bid for houses. But I'm sure a lot of people think like, oh, well, I have to have like all this, like this money before I even get started. But if no one's like teaching people coming up, like, no, actually, this is how you leverage. Like, this is how you actually get your foot in the door. So to speak. Like, people wouldn't know. Yeah.
Well, he has a name for my financing. What is it? What's it called? Brr, you call it?
No, that's just your thinking.
Oh, okay. My thinking is called brr. He calls it. You know, and then,
all over the place.
My financing. He can't even look at my financing method. Okay, I'm like, honey, we used to argue about it, but then he saw that it worked, and he's like, I said, honey, this is you don't want to want to see this. Just walk away. Okay. So I'm just we pay cash for a lot of stuff. Okay. So when you're doing that, you got to be savvy. You have to be creative. Yeah. You got to, when I say think outside the box, you got to say, how can I bundle some cash and purchase something with no cash?
Yeah.
You know, and so I make that happen. And sometimes he doesn't like, you know, if I have to pay sometimes like a $10 late fee on a bill. Yeah. Okay, this is how creative we're getting here. And then he'll be like, that's $25. And I'm like, but if you add that $25 up to compare to what we are going to make with me taking that payment towards this bundle, it's bigger than that.
I'm a bean counter.
Yeah. So he's a bean counter and I look at the big picture. So we together fall in the middle, which is awesome. It makes it awesome. We argue, but it's good to argue because then we pull each other to the middle and we get the job done.
No, yeah, that's what definitely it sounds like. Like, I think it's interesting that you have at one side of it was like very interested in RVs and then the other side is real estate. And then at one point it seemed like neither one of you were interested in the other thing. And then now it's come together. And now you guys
exactly. Exactly. That's exactly the way it is.
Yeah, so now we're all in. We're all in. We're here now.
We are because we can still do the real estate part of it. Like I'm still interested in doing like the cabins and the rental part of it. And where he's like, no rental part. I'm not going there cleaning the bed. I'm not doing none of that. And I said, well, look, we're gonna have staff.
Call Molly May.
So I'm interested in that part of it, and he's interested in the part of it, you know, in the clean off get the broom and sweep off the little piece of concrete part of concrete.
Next.
Right.
No, this is cool. I want to, Alicia, I want to ask you, because you were saying that you grew up with, I guess, not real access to like, sadly, I feel like a lot of people, and correct me if I'm wrong, but I feel like a lot of people like who don't have access or resources don't really get an opportunity to really experience like the outdoors or like sadly a lot of inner city kids, like they don't know how to swim, like just these things that like a lot of people who are kind of outside of that take for granted. Like, oh, like even when people like, oh yeah, I never thought RVing was accessible for me. Like a lot of people say that, and a lot of people don't understand why people say that, because on one hand, you have people who live in RVs or vehicles in general because they can't afford to live anywhere else. But on the other hand, it is a luxury item, right? It is something that's like, oh, you know, we have a house and we have this RV that we take out maybe 2 weeks out of the whole year, right? So like, and hearing your story about like just taking risk, right? With this money, like investing, I'm like, a lot of people who come from, I guess I want to say, even like impoverished like mindset, it's like either they're afraid of spending money, like they're afraid of taking that risk because they know what it's like to go without, right? So like, how did you overcome that mindset of like, this is my limit or this has been my limit and I'm going to go beyond that and try something different?
That is a great question because he asks me that all the time. And, and he's like, I think coming from the projects and let me say my mom and dad are still alive and they're awesome people and but they had their limit on what they knew and what they could give, Right. My mom graduated high school and, but they had their limit on what they could give us as their kids. But I like when I look back at it and feel like, when he sees some of the stuff that I experienced when we got together, we didn't have a washer dryer. We used a scrub board. I grew up very Southern. So we didn't wear shoes during the summer because you didn't want to mess up your shoes. So you were barefoot all the time. It's a Southern, it's funny that I grew up that way and we just didn't have those things. And so for me though, I was always a different thinker as a kid. It was like one of those things where my mom had to be like, you know what, you need to get over there and sit down and stop all that thinking, So it was, I was always that way. When I met him, I was different like that, and just thinking different, like, what can I do? I was so like, I want to do something different and odd and stuff, And when I met him, he just gave me the foundation to carry on those thoughts because I was all over the place with my thinking. It didn't land anywhere, it's just floating, Yeah. What did Seinfeld say? You can take the reservation, but you can't hold the reservation. Yeah, it was like that. It was like, so he makes it so I hold the reservation. I can think it and I can do it. And that's the difference in meeting him versus, just being by myself, Now
you gotta have a baseline, basically, what she's saying. She can come up with anything. She can probably bring the moon closer to the earth in her mind. Yeah. But I would have to tell her, it's going to take this and this and that, and it's A, B, C, D to get there. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And so taking that and going, sometimes when you hear no, you go, I learned to take that into more reality. Okay. But not so much reality where you don't do it. It's like where it's so real, meaning a lot of people say, when you bring an idea up, look, that's too far-fetched. Okay. Yeah. That's too far-fetched. Stop it. So what we had to do together was say, look, I may have too far-fetched ideas, right? But let's try to see if we can make them happen before we shut them down. So then when he got on that concept of, okay, I'm going to go with your flighty, your bring the moon to earth idea. And then we think out, then that made us both thinkers outside the box. And then we stable it as we go down. So now we think high as the moon, the sky, the earth, and then we just kind of come down to a reality point. But it's good to be up there. I like being up there sometimes I stay up there a little long sometimes.
Yeah, she likes to dream.
Yeah, I like to dream. I like to say, yeah, I think we can make that happen. He think of anything. I'm like, oh, let's see if it can work.
Yeah. I definitely resonate with that because I definitely feel like that's our dynamic too. Like I'm very lofty and like, oh, this is like very ideal, right? Like I think in ideals. And so, but I think formality's like, yeah, this might take this might take a little longer than you think. This might take a little more money than you think, a little more time, a little more energy, a little more resources than we have access to right now.
Yeah.
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
I was gonna say without you even speaking, I was gonna say that's so you don't have that big letdown if it doesn't occur. We're here to, ease you into that. We gonna make it happen if it's gonna happen. If it don't, I don't want you to crash and burn.
True.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's good.
Well, now go ahead.
I was just gonna say that there was one incident when we were while we were dating, and it was like wintertime or something like that, and we were driving in Fox's car, and at one point it just died, and so we were stuck on the side of the road, and I had pitched an idea because we were like on a hill, and I was like, all right, this is what we're gonna do. We're just gonna let it roll back, and then we're gonna go to a parking lot. But Fox was like, no, we're gonna push it up this hill, the two of us at night, like in the snow. We're gonna push it up because her car was like a Geo Metro.
Prism.
Geo Prism. So it was a small car. Yeah. I was like, no, I don't think you understand how heavy this car is. Like, two of us, we're gonna be pushing up this hill. She's like, no, we can do it. I was like, all right.
Pitiful.
Yeah. Didn't move at all.
Didn't move.
Oh, that's funny.
Didn't move at all. And she was like, okay, I guess we can try your thing. I was like, okay, thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Let's use gravity to work for us. So That's just science. Just science.
Right.
That's so funny. That's funny. That's too funny. That's kind of what we go through a lot too.
Yeah.
Those type of things.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Guys, I got a crew out here.
Oh.
And I gotta go let them in the bathhouse. It's locked up.
Oh, can we hold? They're on.
Yeah,
they're
we can
taping,
pause
right?
it. That's fine. Yeah.
Go ahead. Yeah. We just kind of think of things that if somebody wake up in the middle of the night, be like, what haven't you ever wanted to? And we'd be like, yeah, let's try it.
Yeah.
I have to do that to him because he'll think it.
Yeah.
He wanted to buy a Jaguar, right?
Ooh.
And but he's a bean counter.
Okay.
All right. He's like, this Jaguar calling my name. He'd come home, this Jaguar calling my name. And I was like, I didn't say nothing to him because I've been married to him a long time now. And I'm not going to get involved. You want it, go get it. Right.
Yeah.
But I know he feels bad. Oh, I got to spend this. Oh my God. What about this? I can't, I was like, I'm not going to say anything to him. For 2 weeks, he come home. This Jaguar is just calling my name. You know what? I went and got that Jaguar and it was sitting in the thing for him. Yeah. And he was like, I thought I'm going to get divorced because he's going to get mad again. When I spend money, he don't like it because he's a bean counter,
Yeah. Yeah.
So that was the first time he was excited.
Wow.
Right?
That's sweet.
Right. I was like,
That's so sweet.
that's so cute.
Almost like he was waiting for I feel like sometimes for me too, I experience buyer's remorse. Even if it's something I need, I'm like, I don't want to spend this money. But it feels affirming when someone else either gets it for you because oh yay, well okay, now it's a thing. You don't feel yeah.
Yes, I don't feel bad. I feel like growing up the way I did, we there was some growing up in the projects. There's some heartache and pain too.
Yeah.
And I just feel like life is short at that point. It's like, man, you gotta take life you gotta go get it. Because I always look at that. If you never do it, you just will never. I mean, you're not going to do it in your second life, as far as we know. Right. So, what are we waiting for again? You know, that's kind of how it is.
Yeah.
Keeping the same order.
Okay, I'm back.
Yay!
Yeah,
it's raining. Them guys showed up. I'm like, what? Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We just moved the bathhouse. That was a two. What is it?
It's a double wide trailer, but it's a full bath shower house, and the whole front side of it was vacant. So we were looking to get an office. Well, let's just use the whole front side of it and make it into an office.
Yeah, just had to move it from one side to the other. Yeah.
Ooh, yeah. So let's talk about the process. So you all were, so RVing was an interest, and so was real estate, and so you married that together. What was that process like for you all? What was the first steps for your owning an RV park? Where do you even do first?
We went to look at a lot of them, and I like to take advice from a lot of people, which I probably shouldn't because it makes me unfocused. But I still like to do it, right? I know that it makes me unfocused. So long as you know, right?
Yeah,
right.
Yeah.
So I just still take a lot of advice and write it all down, and I'm probably obsessive with that. So we went to look at a lot of parks, and we kind of wrote down what we liked from one, what we didn't like from the other. But it's really hard to do a business plan, I found, for a park, because you don't know what. For us, we just kind of want to land on a park that let it find us instead of us be strict about where we wanted a park.
Yeah.
Other than the fact we had two things. It had to be close to a highway so we can make some money.
Yes.
And then what was the other thing? It was just
in the southern region was
southern
weather.
Yeah.
We growing up north. You guys live where you live.
So long as it had those two things, we were gonna look at it. Okay. Yeah. And then we gave some shots, hey, let's just go look at that because it might fit. And that was that high. We went to go see one in the mountains. And he's got a story about the mountains with the Iowa Sea Mountains. We went to go see one, and it was
you came once. The park was nice, but getting to the park was not. It literally was in the mountains, settled down into it's beautiful once you got there, but you had to get there.
Yeah.
The RV cried out, and it did. We had to stop. The brakes was smoking. And,
wow.
Oh, yeah, just trying to get through the winding hill roads, and it overheated. This thing did all kind of stuff. So, and I'm a driver, so I drive. The road didn't bother me as much, but I know for the average RVer, pulling something through those hills like that. That's going to be tough. So you'll come once. And then there was nothing else nearby, like a store or anything. You had to go back down that hill and all out and then find a city to get to a grocery store or anything. So it just didn't work out.
But once you got there, you'd have been like, man, this view and everything is beautiful, right? The house that came with it set on a big old mountain. You looking at everything down. Oh, it was beautiful. Yeah. And man, so we gave things a shot that were like that. But we just thought, man, people will probably come once that we know. And that's it.
Because I'm never going back.
Right. He's going one time. The owner would have been going one time. Right.
I thought about that ride and how tough it was. I thought, well, I'm never going back up there. We didn't leave nothing. Bring everything.
So that's kind of what we did. We looked around and then we said, okay, this one was on the market. It just came up. We had the guy FaceTime us to look at it, but we just was like, Talladega, what are we doing? Where's this place at?
Lincoln, Alabama.
And then so we was like, but he FaceTimed us, and we, I gave it a shot, and the FaceTime looked good. We was like, okay, but Lincoln, Alabama, what is going on? This is the racetrack, NASCAR. We like Speedway, but man, do we want this to be part of our life?
So one of the good things is it's only an hour and a half away from Atlanta.
Okay, and that's what struck us.
And 30 minutes from Birmingham. So we're strategically placed here where it should be fairly easy to get here and get out. Or if you wanted to go somewhere and travel and see something else, you're not 4 hours out.
Right. So we thought we were going to do the one in Highway C because I did convince him that I really liked the atmosphere, the look and everything. But as we went to go do that, this came up. And so we said, let's just go see that one first before we make a decision. So we came to see this one and really was like, wow, okay. It's got a good feel to it. We kind of go by the feel when we do things. It's like, man, this feel is awesome. The people were awesome. It was like, they're awesome. But, we had some issues, but for the most part, it was a great feel. So we said, okay. And we can afford to knock it out on the purchase of it. So let's do it. That's what we did. Yeah.
Here we are.
Yeah.
We're here. And she's a dreaming.
Yeah.
I'm gonna let her dream, but we'll get it done.
Yeah.
Yeah. So how did you all, if you don't mind me asking, how did you all get the capital to purchase land? I know in the South, land is a lot cheaper than it is up here. It's for even maybe half an acre, not even. So how did you all, I guess, either save up the capital or how did you purchase the land? Oh,
I can answer this one. Yeah, we robbed Peter to pay Paul. Remember that thing I told you about the bundle thing? Yeah, I called all my bills and said, hey, look, I got a bundle right now. Sure. So you need to help me out and call me in 3 months. And they were like, okay, for the most part. And then, and it was about using cash, and so it's, we sold a couple rental properties. Okay. But he likes to have another stream of income. So we didn't want to use it all. Right. So I had to finesse. And so we finessed enough to bundle and pay cash.
Basically over the last couple of years, we've been fixing and flipping and selling some of our own that we already had. That's basically how we did it. Because, we called the bank. Well, we don't finance RV parks. So that's what kicked her into high gear to do what she do. And here we are.
Right.
We own it. No mortgage.
Yeah.
That's definitely cooler because a lot of people don't take that in consideration, like you were saying, the finessing or the ability to be able to do that. It always seems very distant from people, how to make those investments with that goal in mind of this is going to get me to somewhere else.
Right.
Because even with the properties that you were saying that you sold or stuff that you flip, a lot of times people just hold on to it so tight that they're not even willing to take the risk to be able to do something else. So I think that's even inspiring and encouraging in itself to be able to do those things to get you to where you want to be, to your dream.
And even foresight. Go ahead.
No, we also have our residents at home. If things don't work out, we'll sell it too.
Right. Yeah. And that's it. Yeah. Well, I think that's good. It's nice you say that, but that thought, taking it back so we can help each other and help a group of people, is that thought had to come to us though. It had to come, the thought of not just bundling down with that income that we had coming in and saying, hey, wait a minute, we have to make some moves. We got to take a risk and settle down on getting some of this income to help us out to the next level.
Yeah.
And so that was a tough decision, because a lot of people wouldn't have done that. And I know that we did it because of that thought though. I'm like, hey, honey, if I can convince him that we can do this, so I could show him a business plan to say, here's the business plan I have, that we can take these 5, or we could take these 2, and I can add this to it and add this to it. And it's how it's going to look. It's going to look a little weird for 4 months, but after 4 months, it's going to calm down and we'll be right here.
Yeah.
The first time seeing that, it was, I can't even look. Now he can graze at it, we're not in that storm for long. It's a time period. So if we were in that long, then it doesn't work, because it doesn't work. It doesn't work for him.
No, I'm over 50, so
me turn up.
The time is now.
Yeah.
Also, being at the age that I am at, I worked my whole life trying to gain riches. We got to get this money, and I'm 53 now, and being rich ain't not so important. So if this is the last hoorah, if we make decent money from it, enough to keep some bread on the table and the lights on, hey, great.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's all that matters. Anything after that, the kids are going to take and probably blow in 20 minutes what took me 30 years to raise. Let's just keep it real.
Right. Let's keep it real. Let's keep it real. One of the things I like about him, do you see that? One of the things I like about this guy is that, well, number one, he's not afraid to share. So he'll tell, if you want to know, he'll sit down, he'll tell you all our stuff. Hey, you want a plan? Let me get a plan together for you. And he just keeps it real, So that way, I keep it real, we keep it real, and we looking at reality. Because if you just talking to me, we'd be all up in the it just can't happen situation. It never will happen. I don't even know why you're thinking that.
Well, the whole thing is we was talking to the neighbors around here, because there's other campgrounds in the area just for Talladega.
Okay.
And they're getting of age. And they work their tail off to make money with these RV parks and stuff, put the kids through school.
Yeah.
And they go to talk to their kids about taking over what they're doing. Nope, don't want no parts of it. They don't want no parts of it. And it's like, wow, the reality of that. So I'm keeping that fresh in my brain because I have kids. And they, I don't think they're going to be interested in this. And that's okay. But, we'll sell at the right time if it comes to that. I'm 70 years old and they don't want it. Well, put it on the market.
Right.
I love that mindset. Because I know about like legacy is important. Sure. Like having something for your family to keep going. But a lot of times I find that when a lot of, I guess, children of people who are like growing their own business or like, entrepreneurs, sometimes they feel, a lot of, I guess, the children of those people feel forced to take on that from their parents. Like, I have to continue this. I have to, keep their legacy going. I got to make them proud. You know what I'm saying? But if we have kids, what I do want to instill in them is like, this is our thing, right? This is us. Like, if you do want to do this, wonderful. But I want you to live your own life and pursue your own dreams without that pressure of feeling like they have to carry on legacy. You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
Well, it's been a reality check for our neighbors around here. So they thought that it was going to automatically be instilled in their kids, and they can't even get them to move back to the town. So it's not happening.
Right.
That's crazy. So let's talk about Talladega, right? So whenever I hear it, I've never been, but whenever I hear it, I think about the movie. I think about race cars. I think about that whole culture. What has that been? You said that you enjoy it. So what has that like experience been like with the culture of like NASCAR and all these things and the people there?
Well, this used to be the old Ricky Bobby. So the movie Talladega Nights, wasn't it? Yeah. So the old Ricky Bobby that we bought, and the people are Ricky Bobby-ish, meaning they are very into race car. They are very into the movie. They're very much like that, but they're very fun too. I mean, when I say fun, these guys are fun. you know. They are, and we're looking forward to we're fun. We like to have that, you know, work hard, play hard type of mentality. So that fun is our type of fun. Don't get me wrong.
And we're not cliquish.
Okay.
You know, we'll party with you today and party with them tomorrow.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I'll hang with you, hang with them. Hey, what we doing today? That's our mentality. So we've been like the outsiders even in our own community, because they don't understand us. When we get to the party, you know how when you go to the party and it's our party, everybody want to hold up the wall, and you know, and we out in the middle of the floor.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, that's what we do. We gonna have fun. Yeah, we came here to have fun. This is a reliever. You know, let's get the pressure off and go have some fun. Don't worry about somebody thinking about how my hair look and all that old stuff. I won't do my hair, but when I get there, I don't care what you think.
Yeah. We're those people that show up to the pool party and actually get into the pool.
Yeah, we go swim.
Yeah, we get in the pool.
Yeah.
We be wet with a waterproof speaker. We don't care.
we have a lot of fun. But he said outsiders. It's so funny because when I met him, we met each other. We kind of talked about our history and everything, and I was like, you know, I was never cliquish in school. It was hard to join like certain things because you're like, I just can't. Now we all got to be the same. And it just was never in my, you know, I got into the lunchroom. I like to sit by myself and whoever kind of gravitates. I just didn't care for that whole cliquish thing. First of all, I couldn't afford it because they want to wear white shirts with blue shoes or whatever. I'm like, I can't even afford that. I can't even afford it.
Now that's
you know, they do, you know. So I can't afford to be a clique. And my husband was the same way. He just didn't, you know.
I'm in all the gangs, as Richard Pryor said.
True.
Whichever one's winning at the end of the fight, that's what I go home with. I'm in all the gangs. I go back and I look back at pictures from even being in high school, and I was like, I forgot I took a picture with that clique because they was a clique, but I wasn't really part of the clique. But I was in there.
Yeah.
You know, then you're looking at another picture. I'm over here with the other clique, the cool guys, the corny guys, whoever. It didn't matter. You know, I just don't do that. You know, I don't individualize people like that.
But it makes us kind of odd too when we have a party. Like he built us a house on the lake, right? So it was a big area, so we can dance. You got a nice big dance.
Oh yeah, I'm a home builder now too.
Yeah, he's a home builder.
Because I know how to change the plug.
He built our first home, right?
3.
He built 3 homes. Yes, 3 homes. We moved around. Yeah. So the last one he built was nice. It was on the water and everything. He built it so that we have a big dance floor. Yeah. Well, when people come to our parties, they're like, I don't know who are these people? Our cliques, so-called, we just hang around everybody. So everybody come, we invite everybody. But they're like, they'll come whispering, you're supposed to invite like these people over here by themselves and these people, I'm like, hey, look.
You're at the wrong party.
You're at the wrong party. Yeah, we bring it all together. So that's what we like to do. That's why this is called Time Away. RV Resort. It's about time away. It's not about all that other stuff. It's about take some time away and just enjoy life.
Take a minute to think. Don't worry about budget. Worry about what you got to do Monday at the job. Take 5. Take 5.
Yeah. Absolutely. Yeah. That's cool. I like that mindset too of, I guess, like time away, like rest. And I'm just gonna say it. Like I feel like people don't rest enough. I feel like Black people don't rest enough. I feel like we're like our parents, grandparents, great grandparents, like they've ingrained this mindset of grinding, of hustling because you had to. There was no other option. Gotta make ends meet. Gotta get food on the table. And I feel like it's up until recently that people are really. And I feel like historically we've all had our ways to find rest, right? Yeah. And so some people might go fishing. Some people might go sit on the porch with their friends and smoke a cigarette or, have a drink or something. Like, I feel like Black people always find a way to, I guess, like decompress and rest or like go to a barbershop and like talk to their friends. Right. But I really feel like it's important for us to be intentional about literally unplugging, like resetting, not being connected. Even when I love that y'all are talking about, we're not worried about what we look like, right? Because I feel like we always got to worry about what we look like. We always got to worry about
right.
how we're presenting.
In our community, oh my goodness.
Yeah, it's stressful. It was stressful for me growing up, I think, just in general. And I just decided to unplug, just like, you know what, I'm going to be who I am. And It may be odd around a certain group of, of our people, but you know what? That's the way I'm going to be. And when I decided to do that, I swear to God, it changed my whole life. At 19, I think I was 20 and he was probably 22. We built our first home, and it was a 4,500 square foot home. And the reason why we did it, not to brag, I wanted to see if we could do it. It was just a joke. It wasn't even a serious thing. It was just a joke. It wasn't a joke to me. It was just like, you know what? We drove past the neighborhood.
Yeah.
Because you know how you get in the car and just be like, dream a little, let's go see some neighborhoods and stuff.
Yes.
So we drove past these homes. I was like, so what are they doing that we ain't doing? And then he was like talking, he getting to talk about the money and all that. And I was like, you know what? I'm gonna see if we can do it. Yeah. And I don't know what we were thinking when it happened. I was like, oh my God, I was just playing, and we made it happen. And with no money, we had no money down.
This stuff is serious.
Yeah, we had no money. It was zero money. We used creative financing, and it got their house. And people couldn't believe it. We were like, oh my God, we got the house.
But the one thing I would want to put out there for everybody to understand is taking that leap, doing something that takes you out of your comfort zone. That becomes your new comfort zone.
Yeah.
You see what I mean? And now you can jump to the next and the next. Now you're feeling more confident about yourself. Don't be afraid. Go out there and just do it. I mean, you only got one life. And then when you're young enough, you're always young enough to recover. If it turns out to be something bad. You know what I mean? It doesn't work out as planned. But you're young enough to recover. So do it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Do it.
And I think we struggled early on in our marriage with that do it phrase,
That's right.
Because it was kind of like what you were saying earlier about, our parents instilled in us. If you're happy, that means you're not working hard. Like if you're having fun, that means you're bad. Yeah. Fun is bad.
Fun is bad. It's reserved for 5 days out of the year on your vacation.
Right.
Yeah. Right. And if you're having fun, people kind of look at you like you're a loser, like you're never going to amount to something. Yeah. And so we had to take that phrase and we struggled for the first 5 or 10 years just with that. How do you take time out and not feel bad about yourself? Yes. You spend money on yourself. How do you feel good about yourself after you spend some money on yourself? I would never
spend more than $30 on a pair of shoes.
Right. So getting him, it was hard to get him he thought because I wanted to have fun, that meant the bills are not going to be paid. That meant this was going to happen. This is going to happen. And I was like, okay, it may mean that. It may mean that.
What do you want me to think?
I don't know how to pay bills, honey, at this time. So we might go with a candle instead of electric bill being paid, but we're going to have some fun.
Yeah. So, mind you, I didn't come from that. Lights was always on, and there was always a loaf of bread on the counter or something. So she didn't care about that because she came differently.
I did. We had a candle sometimes because our electric was off, and we had fun when the candles were on and the electric was off.
Yeah, well, I never experienced
you know what I mean? And we had fun. We had fun, with certain things, just that he just was not used to.
Right.
And I was like, look, I'm going to use a lot of that so we can have some fun, and that's it. We don't have to feel ashamed. We're young and we're missing out on all these years with our kids because we worried about sitting in the room with a candle.
Yeah.
So
our kids are grown and spoiled right now. They didn't have to do that candle thing.
Right. But they, one of the things they appreciate is the travel. So we traveled with them at a young age. We went to see went to New York with the kids to see the ball drop, and they were young. Yeah. I mean, no other kid would have, and that they talked to got to do that. No. We took them to Florida when they were kids, off to the beach. We did. I wanted to do all that stuff with them because I didn't get to do it. Yeah. And I'm like, nope, I'm going to take them to see that ball drop.
Yeah.
When I saw that ball drop, I was like, nope, the kids are going.
Yeah.
It was exciting.
That was an experience, but I tell you what, I'll never do it again. I didn't realize they put you in them corrals.
Oh yeah.
They cage you all up, and you got to use the bathroom or anything. You better be wearing a diaper.
Honestly.
Well, he thought it was he was just all upset. Oh my God, we got disconnected. And I was like, this is part of the fun, man. This is part of the fun.
Where I come from, work 24 hours, sleep 2 hours, kiss you for an hour, and back to work.
Yeah. No, this is us getting lost and we had to wear diapers. This was all fun, right?
Yeah. Sure.
Yeah, sure.
Right.
She did your sure. Yeah, sure.
You have to remember, we established this world, and we're used to certain things, gold, and diamonds, and living good.
Okay.
No, damn a candle.
All right. Okay. There. You can put down my candle.
Yeah. Even they took lemons back in the day and a piece of rock and another piece of rock put together, and they had light.
Well, hey, you know what?
They made their own batteries. Okay.
Hey, you know what?
Just saying.
Is
They
that
tried
something?
the candle. Yeah, they tried the candle. They got burnt when the wax hit their finger. They had enough of that.
Well, the good thing is he's not afraid now to do. He called me the MacGyver because if we ran out of something, I could be like, oh, let me go whip that together, and there you go, boom. Yeah.
Give me a piece of paper bag and a pencil.
We get that together.
Watch this.
But still to this day, I still mop on my hands and knees
And she's drank.
and mop the floor with a rag because I don't know. I just can't get used to all the other stuff. Like he got a lot of gadgets. He'll buy me this convenient stuff,
Right.
and I'll be like, you still got to sweep that rug with a broom.
Suck away and get alone.
You got to wash your clothes by hand. It's like so.
She goes outside in the garden barefooted in the mud planting. That's how she do it, barefooted. But it makes sense because you come out, she just rinse her feet off with the hose.
There you go.
I thought, okay, that's pretty smart.
Yeah.
So there's some things, Mama, you get sick, you just go get some onions, you go get some sugar, some vinegar, whip that up, drink that, boom, it's over. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Hey.
She's like, you got pimples, you go get a baby's diaper with some pee in it, wipe it all over your face, boom, it's over. Yes.
I have never heard of that. That's crazy.
Yeah. Say, hey, you want a cure for something? Just give me a call. Give me a call.
Resourceful.
You want to take some swelling down, get your paper bag, soak it in some vinegar, and wrap it up.
Yeah.
Crazy stuff.
You want to lose weight? You want to lose weight? Get the refrigerator out your house and stop eating. There you go. It's over.
Right. You don't need no spin class.
That's what I need to start doing.
You don't need no spin class.
Right.
Yeah.
We got the answer.
That's cute.
That's funny.
It's been real.
For you, like the way I guess Miss Alicia's mind is that something that appealed to you? Like when you guys like first got together, like how adventurous and how like
No. I'm an A, B, C, D, E, F, G guy.
Yeah.
G, Z to A. Start from the end and work to the beginning. I'm from the beginning to the end. So it's for years I didn't understand. What do you mean? Okay, it's gonna look like this when it's done. How are we gonna get there? Just like now, she actually still does that, but I understand her now. I get it. So in the beginning, no, it was scary. It was extremely scary. I got my own holiday, and it's random. So it's not.
It's called Nate's Day.
Yeah, it's random. It's random. So I might be coming back then. I would be coming home probably off of a 100-hour shift, and now it's Nate's Day. Okay, it's
a random day of the year, so it's not the same day. Because I like change. Try
to be chippy. You almost fell asleep driving home. Try to get home and be chipper for a party. Try that on for size.
That's weird.
And it's a surprise. You see the balloons and stuff outside. Oh. It make you want to keep driving. Or sneak into the neighbor's house,
Yeah, well, he goes to buy. So when we met, he takes me our first apartment. He got us our first apartment. He's like, let's get an apartment. I was like, okay. So he's like, let's go down to Woolworths. Remember Woolworths? Y'all probably don't. Y'all probably too young.
Yeah,
I've heard of it. Yeah.
Oh, they too young. Yeah, Woolworths. He's like, let's go to Woolworths and he parked outside and stuff in Toledo. And I went inside and I got us. He said, go get the towels and the face towels and stuff, right? And I was so excited. We never had towels and stuff growing up, right? You use old clothes or something, and you made stuff. You made your clothes, you made your everything. So, and mind you, I'm like 18, 17, whatever, and we're together. And I go down in that in Woolworths, and I see all these towels and different colors and different sizes. So I just grabbed a bunch of everything.
Aww.
So I get out into this car, got this bag. My husband looked at me. I saw him rambling through the bag, right? And he was frustrated. I was thinking, why is he frustrated? I got a bunch of good stuff in there. He turns around and he yells at me so hard. What'd you say?
Where's the sets? Yeah, she got a green dry towel with a white face towel and a brown hand towel. And she just was just randomly grabbing whatever.
I didn't know about sets. Nobody told me towels came in a set.
Yeah.
I've never seen a dry towel and a wash towel and all that stuff. So I just thought they were all different lengths because I was like, oh, you can dry with that one and I can wipe my face with this one. And that the other mid-size one, I just thought that could be used for just cleaning stuff. I was like, let me just grab a bunch of different sizes. Yeah. He made me feel so, but that was the first time I cried, in the car. I know. And he was like, I think at that moment, I think back to your question, he kind of thought, what the hell am I doing?
I got myself into. Yeah. She had a car before she met me. It might have broke down. Well, we had got her another one. And it was time for her to put gas in it. She didn't know how to put gas in the car.
I did not.
Didn't you have a car before you met me?
But I never put gas in it.
How'd you get around? But anyway, just, that first 5 years is tough. Getting to know each other, getting to find that medium ground where everybody has a smile on their face and everybody understand one another in a relationship. So, we're there, but that first 5 years was rough.
He taught me a lot about where the towels go, and a lot about, that basic stuff you're supposed to know. Like I knew now that, cups in the cabinet, he liked them to go down and I put them up.
Okay.
So that residual water could just puddle down there and make a stain.
That's funny.
It just taught me that, what things were that I just didn't know about. And so when we had our kids, they had t-shirts. Like we didn't have toothpaste. We had baking soda. Baking soda was used for everything. You dip your toothbrush in some baking soda and brush your teeth, and you dip your you use baking soda for your deodorant and stuff.
We used it for the refrigerator. You put it in the refrigerator. That's what we used it for.
Hey, I use it for that now because that's what it's for now. But I didn't, so we had to bring that together. And I didn't fight him on those things. When he said, hey, you're supposed to use it for this, I was like, okay, hey, it'll take some time to change, but I'm always for change.
Back to his question. This is where I got aggravated. So not knowing that you didn't know the basics could be a little aggravating. You know what I mean? And it's like, I got to tell you how to do that too. You know what I mean? Okay. All right. Do you know how to use the bathroom? You got to ask that question now. You can get you some diapers, depends or something. We don't know what's going on.
Look, you got her crying.
I'm sorry, but we just, it was frustrating. So like I said, that first 5 years was, it was something to remember.
Yeah.
I'm so glad. Now it doesn't matter. See, if she doesn't know anything. And besides that, I didn't come from a teacher mentality family. I came from a bunch of a-holes. You understand? That's my family. When you meet them tomorrow, you'll find out. Call them on the phone. What do you want, my life?
And I came from, as you can see, it's like happy, we had our thing, but it was like, I was just like, hey, let's just relax. Let's chill out, dude.
No such thing.
We can do this tomorrow. Mm-hmm. What are we doing? What, what's the urgency here?
There's something else going to be up tomorrow.
So we had to, once we brought it together, now I learned more over it's been a long time. So I learned more structure and more responsibility, accountability, and add that along with my creativity and that whole thing. It just makes for a great situation. So now he trusts me. Well, it's been a long time, but he started to trust me with making those ideas and handling the money and switching that money around. And once you've proven yourself, it's over. Now he's like, go for it.
Now I don't even care. I don't even know if I got $5 or $5 million. I don't. And I don't care, but I used to. That was part of my problem. You know, so I don't care anymore. What difference does it make? I know how to make food off a tree or something. I'm cool.
I loved everything that y'all are saying, because I definitely feel like it takes time to build that trust. I guess either way, like you know, like people think like, oh, you're just merging lives together. Oh yeah, it's gonna be sunshine and rainbows and happiness, and it's like, no.
That's what I thought. It was gonna be sunshine, happiness. I thought that. It was a lot of work. Yeah,
it's work. It's work, and if people, not saying that they should endure like horrible treatment or like abuse or anything like that, but if people go through the hard times, like, you know, I look at couples now who have been together for as long as you all have been together, and it's like, wow, like they're content with one another. They're almost like they're so like in tune with one another, even though that they're still two different people, right? But like that coming together is beautiful. So
yes,
appreciate y'all sharing that.
Yeah, thank you.
Absolutely. We do that because we like to promote. We like families. We like people that get married to stay married.
Yeah.
Of course, if it's some other stuff, then call me. We'll get rid of him. But you don't have to divorce him.
Yeah.
But you know, legitimately understanding being in a relationship is meshing two different households together, no matter how you look at it.
Yeah.
You know, so we did things different in our home, whereas she did things different in her home, and then you're trying to bring all that together in your home, and you got to figure out what can be omitted and what can stay.
Yeah.
You know, which has to be comfortable for the king and the queen. King and the queen has to be comfortable with the end result. So there's a lot of conversation, a lot of getting to understand one another, and just plain out saying, okay, now this is our house. This ain't my mama's house. It's not your mama's house. Cousins, brothers, this is our house. This is what happens here.
Yeah.
Like it or not, you don't like it, you know. Yeah. I didn't lock the door when you came in.
That's interesting he say that, because our kids are 34, 31, and like 20 something.
She be trying to remember.
Yeah. But as they got to their relationships and got married and stuff, one of the things that we would tell them is, you know, what he just said, build what you guys want. Because it took us a minute to get away from our families and say, wait a minute, let's take this out. This is us now. Yeah. And let's introduce ourselves to them as us. And so we had to show them the same thing, you know, hey, look, nope, go to your go create what you guys want. You can take some things here and there, but it's got to be y'all. And then now introduce that to us. And that's what it is. So that's what we do. And then we accept whatever they come back with. That's just your house. That's what it is. Yeah. And so that's what we like.
I love that. That's like the total opposite of a lot of people's experience. A lot of people's parents are very like, no, it has to look like this, or very hands-on, and that can really like ruin the structure. I think what you brought up is a good point. Is like you're really like saying like we're building something together. Like this is our thing. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So
I see you at Thanksgiving. Yeah.
Yeah. And like once you introduce it, if that's not something they want, then that's not something they got to be a part of. You gotta let it go for a minute. They'll come back. Yeah. You know, they'll come back. And it was hard for us because when me introduced being like cultivated into his family, who are very, very headstrong. He call them a-holes, but you know, maybe the other term for it, you know, is headstrong people. You know, it was hard for me. But the way I made it work at the time was that I just kind of went along with whatever was going on. And he didn't like that. So we changed that to where you need to show them who you are.
Yeah, you're making me look weak in front of my family.
But I didn't want to become like his family either.
Right.
Be stressed out. Yeah, now I got to be all hard. I'm usually trying to relax and smile, and now I got to go over there all tensed up and ready to, you know, I'm like, oh man, that's a lot of practice and stuff. I got
to be on your guard at every turn.
So I just thought I'm going to be happy and be me. And then it took them a minute, you know, and then they were like, okay, that's who she is.
Yeah, they know her. Yeah. And they also know me. They've always known me. So if you mess with her, you're messing with me. And I'm the one child out of all 7 of us, that you don't PO. They already know that.
They know that.
I'm a nice guy.
Yeah.
Until I'm not.
Right.
You know what I mean?
What's going through my head though, you asked a question. You said, what is there to do in Talladega? Remember that?
Yeah.
And that's what was going through my head just now. And I was like, you know what? I've been going out over the last couple months because our construction don't start really until after the race in October.
Okay.
So I've been going out trying to find different stuff that's happening around, right? And I've been getting, it's a lot more here that they're not advertising. We're like, why aren't they telling people that there's the vineyard, the wine vineyard, there's tons of beautiful, when I say nice restaurants, I mean, ridiculous. There's some things that four-wheeling, we don't do, but we're going to get into doing. Four-wheeling, they got a park that allows for that. They got the short track down here. They got, they got the gun club right real close, and it's an experience. There's a lot of different things to do that people got to get into that's a little different for, but
once we had the swimming pool, they'll build a swim.
Right. We'll have the swimming pool.
I haven't seen the swimming pool around here.
Yep. We're going to do some pickleball because people are asking for that. Yeah. We've never done it, but I think they're right. It is going to be something to do.
Yeah. That's really cool. Yeah.
So it's, around here, it's diamonds in the rough all around the area. You just got to relocate them. So she's doing that to basically have a list, like when you go to a camping ground and things, sightseeing and things you want to go to.
And things I've done myself. So I like having fun. So things I can do, and then can film, hey, look at what I'm doing. And then you guys I can share that with everybody.
They have Coosa Lake, and they're about to put together this big old fishing competition on it. They're working on all that right now. So they're trying to grow the area a little bit. So we're just not so dependent on 2 races a year to liven up the economy.
Yeah. Okay, sure. So I was asking if you could tell us more about time away and your intentions with this, where you are in the process, all of things.
Okay, so we did receive a lot of posts. I thought it was a good idea. He made an original post that said, "Hey, we're thinking about buying a RV park." That was I don't know when that was, but
long time ago.
When he did that, he got a lot of responses that said, "Hey, it'd be nice to see, an African American male, family buy an RV park." Mm-hmm. And then I said, you know what? Me, my mind just started flowing then. And I said, it'd be nice to, once we bought the park, I said, let's put it out there and let's share this experience with everybody. And let's make a page and let's just throw it out there. And now that we purchased it, let's get a bunch of ideas. So that's exactly what we started to do. And then, how do you build an RV park? And what do people want to see? What do they want in it?
Mm-hmm.
What are some of the things that they always wanted? And this is an opportunity for us to get that for them.
Yeah.
So when I put it out there, I made a video, and that video it's about 15 minutes long, but it encompasses all the posts that we had. We got about 1,500 suggestions.
Wow.
What they want to see. Yeah. So I took all that, and me and my little marketing team, which consists of my daughter and her best friend, we put all that into a Excel sheet, and then what came out was these things, everything they wanted to see. Yeah. So space came out first, and then blah, 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 on down the line. Yeah. So we are building that around what we got back in.
Wow.
And so when it came to space, that was the biggest struggle, because as you know, you eliminate space, you eliminate funds.
Mm-hmm.
We decided to do that. So instead of going with 200 sites that we started out with, or a little bit more, we're down to what? 100 sites, because we needed space. We needed space.
Gotcha. Yeah.
And so now we're at 25 by 100 sites.
Okay.
So where we are in the process is we are continuing to take those suggestions and making and planning the actual site layout, getting in what we want. Now we're there where we kind of got what we want to see. We want a pool. We want 3 pools. We want a basketball court. We want the amenities here. We want to see it's centered properly with the shower house and that sort of thing. So now we're at an architect. We're going to get an architect involved, a landscaping architect, to draw out our actual plan. We did that when we built our house, and we thought that turned out very well.
Okay.
So the landscaping architect will build this other side that will have all that fun stuff there.
Right.
Yeah.
That's our next our next plan on top of the septic is going to be here next week.
We have no idea.
He has no idea.
We're finding out down here. We keep it 100. They work on different schedules.
Okay.
That's the world. Here Tuesday, that means you'll be here next Tuesday. Yeah.
So the septic is the next thing we'll be working on to make this these full sites. The next thing after that, we want to make sure that we define the roads, define the sites. We do want to use concrete as much as possible.
Yeah.
The next thing after that is to get the house we just moved all together. Then the next thing after that is, and he's bean counting. And I keep getting up every morning saying, honey, the sky is the limit. Get the money off your mind.
Yeah.
And let's get the things we need first, and then we'll throw the cost in later.
Yeah.
And that's what we have, because it stops us from thinking when we do that. Look at it. Yeah.
It doesn't stop me from thinking. It's up to me. All the sites be floating on the air when you get on there. It won't stop me from thinking.
It don't stop you from thinking. It stops us from investigating. It does. If he thinks it's too costly, we won't investigate. We'll be like, oh, it's too costly. Oh, walk the other way. And no, we're going to look at it.
Yeah.
So it makes us look at it. So that's where we are right now. And we really want to keep everybody involved. Like keep the followers and keep the, people who want to build a RV park involved.
Yeah.
So that they can see what the process is like. Just whatever questions they have, like they got my number, they can call anytime. And I put him on the phone with about 3 people that wanted to build one. And so hey, Nate, they want to know the bones about it. And so he talks to them. Yeah. Share all that.
They always call when I'm at my busiest point.
So he takes time out. And I try to schedule an appointment with him now so he can, so he'll have some time to talk to him and share. So,
cool.
So he's done that. Yeah.
I feel like getting sweaty. What was it? President United States.
And I know you guys are on the road a lot, right?
Right now we're taking a break. Yeah. COVID and everything else is shut down.
Yeah.
What are some of the things you guys like to see when you go to campgrounds?
That's a great question.
Look, I want to get that in there. Get that in there.
Sure. I mean, I like pools, so anything water, I love.
Right now we got a couple water hoses.
That'll work.
You can get them. You can get right.
That'll work.
That's funny.
That's funny.
Anything?
What y'all like?
Also, like adventure stuff.
Yeah, so
I think I like the idea of it.
I feel like a lot of when we were on the road, when we were going to places, a lot of times we were working, so it wasn't always easy for us to take a break.
Yeah.
So we'll be at different campgrounds and they'll have all these amenities, but we're inside working. Yeah. So that's interesting that you would ask that.
So you like a lot of amenities?
I think some of the amenities they had at this one place we stayed in Missouri. This one place we stayed in Missouri, they had they had live music.
Yeah.
Cool. From local bands. That was really cool to walk by as we're about to go to work. I'm like, oh, they sound nice.
Yeah.
They also had movie night.
Yeah. It's kind of some indoor kind of stuff.
Yeah, because it was hot. It was really, really hot. Yeah. Movies, ice cream. That's just
So you guys like to stay on the campus when you get there? Do you like to stay in the area, or do you like to venture out when you get there?
I think both.
Yeah, definitely both. Excuse me. It depended on where we were. So when we were in Missouri, we went to the campground and then we went to St. Louis. So it depends on what was close by.
And we just wanted to go because we'd never been to St. Louis before. So we didn't have to leave, but that campground had everything that you could want on there.
Yeah.
Let's don't leave your car out all night in St. Louis.
Yeah, I know. I've heard.
Oh, she told you?
I didn't tell her. No.
No.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Got up in the morning. I thought I had my car strategically parked, right? Just look out the window and see it. In downtown. Got up in the morning, window broke, stereo gone.
Oh.
Nobody cared.
Yeah.
Hey, you know what? As a shout out to these St. Lunatics, you left $200 in cash in the armrest.
Right.
What?
Yeah. They did all that, left the money, and they forgot to look.
And took a radio that goes into a cold lockout when it has a power shutdown. So you bought a paperweight.
Oh my gosh.
I'm sure they figured that out. They figured that out.
I just hope it didn't cause any more violence in the city. Somebody sold it to somebody and they couldn't get it to work.
Oh, no.
Yeah. That's good to hear what you guys like to see. It's right along where we're headed with getting the campground together, Yeah.
I also love that you're sharing even the struggles that you're having too, the decisions that you having to make. Because I feel like people see the end result and they're like, oh, this was pie. This was simple. And a lot of people don't share their process, and so they don't know. And what I also love is that you all are willing to help and encourage other people in their own journey, trying to figure out what they're doing using your own experience. Because what I found sadly is a lot of people, once they get something for themselves, they want to hoard it and they want to keep it, and almost if I share this information with you, you're my competitor, as opposed to we could just work together and I could support you, you could support me.
Let's all eat.
We found that to be we found that to be a lot in our journey of trying to build homes or trying to buy property. We've always just had us. Anytime we did look out to go and try to get that help, it just seemed like they didn't share much. They shared just a little bit to say they did something, but we never got we was like, what's the secret sauce? Where's the secret sauce at? And nobody would give us the secret sauce. Okay. And one day we was at a house that he built in Fort Wayne, and this lady our neighbors. I mean, we saw them once. They were at a food venue thing, passing out food. We saw her again over at, doing some 3 different things. We was like, what the hell's going on here? Mm-hmm. So I went and got a pencil and paper. I went to her house. I said, hey, I want to talk to you. I really need to know, we want to do something different. This is before we got into housing. I said, what? I see we didn't have 4 different streams of income. We only had 1. That was our job. I was like, what's going on here? And she said, well, she took us to the basement. And let me tell you something. They had 10 different streams of income. She was
Avon, Reno. They own a restaurant.
He played violin and for kids. And, we was like.
They run all the carnivals in town. They.
Yeah. And at that time.
Food trucks. The
whole thought of different streams of income wasn't part of the program. It was like, wow. That was a mind blowing. To see that they had all those different streams, that you can do more than just one thing, which is go to work or go, or
just have rental property.
Yeah. And so I wrote all that down, and she gave us the secret sauce, which was do you make your own book. She's like, Alicia, I know you got a book, because I could tell. She's like, go off that book. And I was like, you know what, hon? We need to write our own book. That's the advice we got. So we decided after that, we wrote our own book. It was like, here's the book right here. It's our book. It's not, you got to do it like this in order to make it happen. You got to do it like that. You do it the way you think it should be done.
Absolutely.
That's it.
And we were still young enough, if we messed up, we got time to recover.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So that's what we did. So that's when I came up with the whole, let's creative finance everything. You want to pay cash for something, honey. Desperate measures, times call for desperate measures. That means I got to do something different, So that's what's going to look different, right?
I'm going on the record. This is the last hoorah, though.
It's the last hoorah. Yeah. It's the last hoorah. This is the last hoorah. We still plan to get some traveling done while we're doing this. And even when the park's going, we still plan to live. We don't plan to shut down, and it's going to look different. They say, oh, y'all going to be doing a lot of work. Nope. Everything we've done, they've said that. And we're like, nope, we're going to be different. We got to think different then. Make something else happen in order for us to get our fun in too,
Yeah.
Oh, it's going to be working.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You get 4 hours out of me a day. That's it. 4 hours. After that, it's 2-hour nap, and then I start my day.
Absolutely.
And that's his day. That's his day for real. That 2-hour nap coming as soon as we get off of this.
Yeah, this all counts. This all counts as work.
Yes. Oh, true. Listen. I admire that. I do. Yeah. Absolutely. So I guess as we're coming to a close, what advice, I guess, looking back at yourselves 10 years, 10, 15 years.
Okay.
What advice would you give yourselves 10, 15 years ago?
17 years ago?
Sure. 10 or 15. It don't matter.
Go ahead. You start first.
Oh, I guess, again, like I said, honestly before, is first things first. If you're going to be a married couple, be your own couple.
Yeah.
Don't be the couple for everybody else. Be the couple for you. Number one, that is the first thing. And if you guys are in line with your ideals, pursue them together. Mm-hmm. You're going to fight. Mm-hmm. Everything's not going to work out or come the way you think it's going to be. So advice that I would give myself 12 years back, have an open mind.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And that, I would add to that and say, definitely with the open mind, be ready to really listen. Like we have rules and we have, I don't know if you call them rules, but they are things in our relationship that say, if one of us come up with an idea, our rule is to listen first and add to it. And so before we do the beat down, listen to it, add to it, and then we can take away, but you got to be able to add to it first, and then let's kind of ground it after that, but let the person dream a little, just dream a little. Allow people to dream a little.
And then remind them of the 4 pillars.
Yeah.
That's got to stand on and structure and go.
Yeah. And then once you bring all that in, but have fun with it first. Have fun with it first. And my advice would be to add to what he's saying is, really have fun with the idea first and take it to where no man has ever thought about taking it, and then deal with that stuff later. And then one other thing I would say is that, we are our own individual, even though we're in a marriage. So he has his own thought and political issue, issues or whatever it is. I have my own, and we respect those differences. So we wish the world would even get back to respecting those differences that we have. Just it's okay that so-and-so, we talk about a lot of things here in Talladega that's outside of our, culture, outside of growing up. But what we are willing to do as me and him is listen.
Yeah.
So we've listened to a lot of the things here, and we've said, okay, doesn't mean we accept it, doesn't mean we like it, but we listen.
Yeah.
And try to understand. So that's what we do. Keep an open mind about those things and
honest conversation.
Mm.
Yeah.
Honest conversation. Being in a relationship, being in a marriage, honest conversation. Just be honest.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
If you got married to this person, you got some ounce of trust.
Yeah.
Sleep in the bed with that person, you got some ounce of trust.
That's true.
Yeah.
So,
and another thing is probably allow for those mistakes. As we are in this world today, we're not. I don't know if we're allowing each other. We're not allowing each other to make mistakes.
Believe it or not, I actually make mistakes sometimes.
Yeah, it's like let's make mistakes, and forgiving those mistakes, and saying that was a mistake, being able to admit that. And so as we're going into this business, I'm sure there's going to be some mistakes, but we're the first ones to say, hey, look, no matter how bad or how good or how political, that was a mistake. Let's move forward, and how can we make that better?
I'll fix it.
So that's what we are. That's what we're about. Yeah.
Yes. All this stuff. First of all, this whole interview has been amazing. Yeah. All the wisdom, all the laughter, like everything, the stories.
Gotta have fun in life.
Yes, absolutely. It's been great, and y'all dropped so many like nuggets. There's so much to take from here. So writing this what we call summary is going to be exciting for me. Especially, I love the fact that you all, when you had the idea, your first thing was to ask people to say, hey, what would you like to see from this thing? Like to really include them on the vision. Like I feel like that's a part that a lot of people miss. Some people just like build things and hope people come, right? Like they're just like, oh, this will be amazing. And really you haven't asked anybody what they really want.
Does anybody really care?
Yeah. We wanted to go back to old school customer service. You know, I was in high school. I learned customer service. That's what I wanted to be when I got out of high school. I was like, oh, customer service is my thing. I want to please everybody. And you know, you go back to that. Customer's always right.
Yeah.
And I know it's hard to do in this day and age because you got these millennials who think a little different, you know, but yeah, they do. You know, like she's like, oh, we're millennial. Oh my God, we're millennial.
What I'm saying. If it didn't work the first time they push the button, they lose their mind. Hey, just try to push it again.
Right. Yeah. And so we're like going back to that, the customer's always right theme, I think works. And even with millennials and all the others, you can still, you know, say, hey, look, you're right. Let's move on, or let's give you this, or let's try to make this better, without giving them the everything, because that's kind of what it boils down to. Can't give money, but yeah.
You can't give them nothing. You really give them nothing. You got to make them think they got something.
There you go. Now you're gonna have all the millennials calling. Hold up.
I'm just messing around. Hey,
all the millennials calling.
I'm gonna give them what they need to do what we do, and that's what I'm gonna do.
Yeah, and we sit out and we talk to a lot of young couples. A lot. I mean, God, I'm saying younger couples, but you know, we do. We spend a lot of time not telling a lot, but we're learning a lot from them. Yeah. As a matter of fact, we're missing to tell you guys one thing that's very important.
Yeah, but we learned
which is we learned from millennials.
That's right.
How to relax, and our kids are millennials. Our son Terry. Let me tell you something. He's the ultimate mini me millennial. And when I say mini me, that brain moving. Oh my God.
Yeah.
My God.
Don't think the millennials don't have anything to offer. They really do. That mindset helps pull us out of that older mindset. So now you have a nice balance to understand. Like I said, it's not all work and play. It's not all play and no work.
Yeah.
You gotta find that line, and it's gotta work for you. But it pulls you away from, oh God, I gotta do 100 hours this week.
Yeah.
I do 4 hours.
Yes.
2-hour nap when I start my day.
Yes.
She gonna be like 4, 2, 1. Yeah.
Y'all are goals, okay?
But I got that from listening to my kids. So.
Right. So that's where that was that loosening up that he came to. That's the start. In case we missed that. Yeah. So that played a big role in the millennial thought. And hey, life is good. It helped us, and it got us to where we are today. So. Yeah. Hey, thank you, millennials.
Stay relaxed throughout the process.
Yeah.
Yes, that's it right there. Stay relaxed. This process we're going through could be strained. It could be straining, stressful. But let me tell you, that's for them, not for us.
Yeah.
Every time we make a mistake, we laugh and be like, "Did you believe I did that?"
I mean, normally I would be out there where I got some stuff to fix out in the yard. It'd be getting done right now in the rain. Man. Yeah. It can rain. It'd be done when it starts raining.
Yeah. I love that.
And it's already afternoon, so work's over.
True. He on the 2-hour nap time.
After this.
Yeah.
Get up and start my day.
Yeah. Well, I won't keep you too long from your nap. But could you please list everywhere everyone can find you all, like how they can follow on your journey, all that stuff?
Well, we've got a great following on Facebook, our Facebook page, Time Away RV Resort. Now our website looks great. They just built it. We just got our logo today. So that is going to be announced. Our website is www.timeawayrvresort.com. And we got a nice logo that's going to be revealed this weekend. Also, we have a veteran that we met that's going to introduce or going to let individuals know that who the winner is of the veteran the veteran nominee.
Oh, nice.
We did like a sort of I don't know if you call it contest or whatever, but we had people send in there, nominate a veteran because he's a veteran. He was served in the Army, his father's father, our daughter in the Navy, and our son is in the Army. So we love veterans. Yeah. So we decided to have them, nominate a veteran to win one whole week here at Time Away RV Resort.
Wow. Yeah.
And they get a whole week of a race, the Speedway tickets.
Nice.
Yeah. So they get a whole, it's probably like a $1,400 value.
Wow.
You know, yeah, and
Yeah.
we're gonna do that for them. So
That's beautiful.
That's-
Veterans
So
don't
where
get
else can we
enough.
see that on the internet?
they can see that on at our website, and they can see that on our web page. That's Timeway RV Resort.
Okay, perfect. That's beautiful. Yeah, because veterans don't get enough love at all. So
When you,
Yeah, no.
when you think about the freedoms that we have
Mm.
and why they are,
Yeah,
yeah.
it's crazy.
yeah,
It's crazy.
yeah. We are on Twitter too. So Timeway RV on
Okay.
Twitter. I do like Twitter now. I didn't like it before because you feel kind of lonely,
Aw.
but you know,
We'll follow
I
it.
like it now.
We should have did MySpace.
Yeah, MySpace. They don't know what MySpace is. Sweet, they too young.
We had MySpace.
Yeah, we had a MySpace.
Yeah, MySpace.
Are they still out there?
Not the same. I feel like it's
Yeah,
for music now or
Yeah,
something.
it changed.
Oh,
okay.
Yeah.
that MySpace.
Classic stuff playing.
Yeah, well, we're on that, and we're on Instagram, Timeway
Okay.
RV Resort.
Okay,
So
perfect.
I'm the TikTok. I can't do the TikTok.
I can't either.
Yeah. Oh my God. Yeah, I can't.
I
You just did it. Oh, I
did it.
tried it. And,
Yeah.
no, it just ain't gonna work out.
It's a lot of noise. It's just I don't understand what's happening. I'm like,
Yeah.
maybe I'm getting older.
I've never seen it, so I just did TikTok.
Okay.
And I said, TikTok.
I put him on a TikTok. I did a TikTok for you on there, and it took too long. And I'm like, I'm in a lot of stuff. I think this is good. This is good.
Yeah, we'll keep it cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, thank y'all. I really appreciate taking. I really, hopefully we can learn more about you guys.
Absolutely. Sure.
Yeah.
No, that's really kind. Usually nobody really.
Yeah.
Are you guys in this area, the Talladega area?
Yes. We'll definitely have to come through for sure. I've never been there. Not that I know of. I know we drove
Alabama?
through Alabama once, but we drove through Alabama to get to New Orleans, I think.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, that's
Other
it.
than that.
Just drive through.
Same here.
Same here. This is our first time here too.
That's crazy.
Honestly.
Yeah, we'd never been to Alabama before.
It just felt good though when I saw the sign. See home, Alabama.
Yeah.
You start thinking something.
You do. Well, our grand opening is June 10th.
Projected.
It's
Yep.
projected. He said projected. Throw the projected in there.
Yeah.
June 2021. We do plan to have events. We do it's going to be a 3-day hooray, we are thinking about expanding it because our reservations are filling up really fast.
Okay.
So it may be like a week, 2 weekends. We might do that. So we're thinking about it.
Okay.
That's cool.
That's
Yeah.
perfect. We'd love to
Yeah.
get down there.
Yeah.
That'd be great. Yes.
Yeah.
But yes. Thank y'all so much.
Thank you.
Well, she got the edit. She can edit all that.
Yeah, she
out.
takes some of
Yeah,
that
she can
stuff.
edit all that. Yeah. Yeah.
Look, she'll be Ed and talking about Nate crazy.
Right, Eddie, get that out. Get that out.
Get that out of there.
Look at that 4-2-1. You remember that? The 4-hour work, 2-hour nap,
Yeah,
and the
just
one.
start my
Yeah,
day.
just start his day.
That's great advice.
It is good advice.
That's great advice.
Okay.
That's good advice.
Work
Yes.
hard that 4 hours. It's a hard 4, no breaks.
I believe it. Yeah.
Mhm.
Details there.
Thanks, honey.
It's a hard 4.
It's a hard
Yes.
work.
The rest is
Thank
so
you,
fun.
guys.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you guys.
Yes, I'm excited. I'm excited to share this. This was great. Seriously.
Thank you guys so much.
Yeah.
It was nice
So
to meet you
vulnerable and
guys.
transparent. Yes, it's
Yeah.
nice to meet y'all.
Yeah, what's a good title? What's a good title?
Oh, we'll have to sit and think about that.
Yeah.
That'll probably
Yeah,
take
think about
a
that. You got Ricky Bobby. You got.
You'll find out. See, you'll find out when you get older. You can be transparent.
Yeah.
Who cares?
Yeah.
What are you gonna do? You gonna give me 50 more years? What are you gonna
We're
do?
getting 50. We can say what we want to say.
What are you gonna do? Nothing.
Yeah, they're not there yet, though, honey. Don't
I know that's right.
Hey,
No,
that's
bro.
that's encouragement.
Is it?
That's
Yeah.
encouragement. What are you gonna do? I done made it this far.
Yeah,
Hey.
we love that. When we turn, he said when we turn 50. As soon as we turn 50, we was able to say what you want to say, like whatever.
Yeah.
Okay, whatever. I'm gonna tell you the truth.
Yeah.
I'm gonna tell you
Yeah.
the truth.
Thank y'all. You know we holding y'all up. Okay.
No, it's all good.